Yes, our next presenter has a closer look at all the amazing experiences we can expect aboard the Disney Wish. Please welcome our Disney Cruise Line Insider, Cruise Director Ashley Long.
Well, hello everyone. A very good morning and welcome to On Board the Disney Wish. Creativity and inspiration set sail. I am so excited to get to be here today to help share some details on how the Disney Wish is starting to come to life. And to help us do just that, we have some of the amazing minds behind the Disney Wish with us here today. Please join me in welcoming Denise Case, Danny Hankey, Sachi Hankey, and Monica Ireland. Welcome. Thank you all so much for being here this morning. We appreciate it. Now, we've got a lot to cover today, so we're going to move pretty quickly so we can get you all to see as much as possible during this session. So let's go ahead and get started. You ready?
Ready.
Let's
all right.
do it.
So let's start off in the Grand Hall because we know that Disney Cruise Line has truly created the blueprint for family cruising with purposefully designed spaces. What can you tell us that will be different about the Grand Hall, and how will entertainment play a starring role in it?
Yeah, so I think that the great thing about our Grand Hall, which, you know, if you've cruised with us before, you know that the first place that you step into is our atrium space. Mm-hmm. Now you're stepping into the Grand Hall, so that's something that's the huge difference. We're kind of going back to our theme park roots here. And if you think about Main Street USA, the moment that you step into Main Street, you know exactly what story you're in. You know what time period you're in. You can hear it in the music. You can see it in the placemaking. You know what characters you can expect to see and how they will be dressed. So similarly to that, you're stepping into a fairy tale castle. You know exactly that you are there. You know what stories that you are going to see come to life around you. And we have this amazing stage for the very first time on one of our ships. We are featuring a stage that will help bring these fairy tale stories to life in great detail.
Yep. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. First of all, it's great to see everybody. When we first saw the design that our WGI partners had created, and we saw a stage in the Grand Hall, entertainment, we jumped up and down. We were just like, yes, a stage! It's becoming an environmental theater space for us. It's allowing us to provide entertainment, the level of entertainment we've never been able to do in our other atriums, right? It's just so fantastic. Storytelling in new ways. As Sachi said, you know exactly where you are. It's grand for a reason. So we're just very, very excited to bring it to life. I think you all are going to be excited to see what we have in store. And you'll see lots of favorite friends there. It's going to be really terrific.
Ooh. Yes, I could definitely vouch that all of entertainment was very excited about that when we heard that.
So excited.
Awesome. Well, and speaking of entertainment and speaking of things that are fan favorites, we know that our guests love our dining experiences that we have on board. And you all have created some truly innovative dining experiences on board the Disney Wish. Let's start off with Arendelle, a frozen dining adventure, because this is a live entertainment venue, really. You know, it's designed in the style of theater in the round with a small stage in the center and all the dining situated around it. And of course, adding all of those theatrical bells and whistles to be able to bring this to a full 360 glory. How are you able to creatively design this space, Denise? And how will the characters that we know and we love be brought to life in it?
We're very excited about Arendelle, Frozen Dining Adventure, as you all can tell. Because, you know, let's face it, Frozen's one of our favorite franchises, right? Who doesn't love Frozen? Do we have Frozen fans in the audience? Right?
Over there.
First time in forever, Frozen Dining. Yes, let's hear it. So with that in mind, obviously, Queen Anna and Kristoff and Elsa and Olaf, who you will see in a whole new way. I'm very excited about Olaf. And we're also created Oaken. Yes, because did you know that Oaken now has a hearty planning service and sauna, and Oaken is helping Elsa and Olaf throw a wonderful engagement party for Queen Anna and Kristoff. It's going to be a delightful experience. You'll hear some of your favorite songs, see some of your favorite Frozen friends. The food will be fantastic, and as Ashley said, we're excited about this restaurant because the stage is in the center of the space, So it is in the round, which really provides great viewing for everyone and really immerses guests in the story. That being said, our Imagineering friends have given us some terrific infrastructure within the space so that we're really going to be able to just blow this out, and it'll be frozen fractals all around and a lot of fun.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to see them again.
I know, it's fun.
Okay, so switching gears from Arendelle, Danny, can you take us over to Worlds of Marvel? Because I know, right? Who's excited about Worlds of Marvel? I cannot wait to get to see this restaurant because this is really, you're taking an upscale restaurant meets technology showcase, and this is really going to up the ante on that whole traditional dinner and a show concept. How did you come up with a story, this larger-than-life story that's going to play out in this space?
Well, I'll tell you guys that, when they said you're going to work on Marvel on the next Disney ship, I was not expecting to be doing a table service restaurant, Marvel, and a themed restaurant. That was different, but hey, we like to do the impossible, right? And so it was, we started by thinking a lot about what kind of experience would bring the Marvel heroes aboard our ship. And so we came up with this idea that this is a technology showcase where we get to demonstrate the technology in person, which would be amazing for all of our guests to have some hands-on activities. This is a 700-seat restaurant, 120 tables, so we have a quantum core on every table. And Ant-Man and Wasp get to come in and help you demonstrate really cool quantum technology by shrinking and growing things. At one point, we shrink the ship, and we shrink, Scott Lang's luggage because it doesn't fit underneath the stateroom bed. We've all been there before. All this cool demonstration of technology has attracted the attention of Ultron. And so we have to call in Captain America and Captain Marvel to come in and help save the day. We get to stage this huge battle on the upper deck of the ship, which is really amazing. We've recreated the entire ship in CG, so we can have this really cool action across the entire show. So super exciting. We got to work with some major talent, and our friends at Marvel Studios have helped us bring this to life. So we're really excited to share this with everyone.
That's such a cool partnership. That's awesome, man. Give that a round of applause. Before we move on, though, I do have a very important question. Have you spoken to the captain about shrinking the ship? Have you spoken to him about that yet?
There's some words they have with Wasp in the show about that.
Anyway, this one, but thank you so much for sharing it. That is awesome. And Monica, I want to come to you with this next one because I have already had so many guests on board and so many crew members on board as well come and talk to me about how excited they are about the Wish Tower Suite. I mean, they are in awe. This sounds like such a cool space on board. It's sure to be one of our most unique accommodations. Can you share with everyone how the suite is designed with artwork and iconography and other materials that evoke that Oceania-inspired world of Moana?
So it definitely is going to be probably the most unique suite that's on any ship sailing the high seas. Nobody has a suite inside of a funnel the way we have created on this ship. And I can tell you, I just flew in yesterday back from the shipyard. I was standing in the funnel suite, Friday afternoon, with the outfitters, with the yard contractors to make sure that everything's going well. It's coming along beautifully. You can really start seeing the space now. So it gets everybody even more excited. But it definitely has the storytelling from the minute you get, whether it's an elevator on deck 10, it's a private elevator, you go into the vestibule, you already have background music dedicated to the theme of Moana, and you go up, or you can also have access immediately from the outside decks on deck 12. So once you arrive at the funnel suite, the Wish Tower Suite, we always call it the funnel suite, or the working name, you obviously have this expanse of viewing, 2-story height space and living and dining room. And it is the story of Moana with all the finishes and the colors of sand and the corals and the blue, and with artwork. There's a beautiful artwork piece at the bottom of that spiral stair, the Heart of Tahiti, that's going to have entertainment-related, lighting and sound effects, and then the chandelier, and it's again seashells and everything from that theme. It's more abstract, not literal, but you see seashells. You have fiber optics in the kids' bedroom with bunk beds that have the constellation and Moana characters. So just simple things through chandeliers, artwork, special sculptures. You really are able to tell the story of Moana in a very nice, sophisticated sophisticated way with all the colors that evoke the sand and the sea and the spirit of the sea, which is a subset of the theme of Enchanted. So it's definitely a very unique suite. Like I said, I don't think there's any ship sailing the oceans that has a suite like what the Wish Tower suite is going to be.
Oh, no,
Beautiful.
incredible, absolutely incredible. Now, did you just say that you were just in Germany?
I just flew in at 4:30 yesterday afternoon, so I'm still awake.
What time is it for you right now?
But now it is, it would be 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Germany time. Yeah, my family's used to me going to bed really early the first day I come back. I go to the shipyard a week out of every month, so my body's kind of used to it.
Every month.
But it's great to see progress.
Oh, that's incredible. Now, since you did just get back, I heard that maybe you brought with you some never-before-seen pictures of the Wish Tower suite being installed. Is that right?
That's right. That's right. When they lift the funnel, which is the tower suite, and they place it on board, is one of the very, very last pieces that come up. You can see all the cranes. And imagine this huge thing moving across, and it gets lifted and moved over and placed on top, welded, and that's when the headers start coming in. When the shipyard gets all of the cables and the piping and all the infrastructure, start closing ceilings and walls and lots of inspections, then the outfitter comes in. But this is the very first step, when you lift up the blocks, move it, and put it in place.
That's so good. I like that it just sounds so simple, too. You just lift it up and you put it over and you put it on the ship, right?
It's like Legos.
It's as easy as that. It's super easy.
It's great to watch. It makes you feel very small.
It probably does. No, thank you for sharing that, and thank you for bringing these as well, too. Those are absolutely incredible. It's so neat to see how the design work, and it comes together with all of that engineering to put together what is truly going to be such a unique accommodation for us. And there's going to be quite a few unique things on board the Disney Wish. And Sachi, I want to talk about one that I'm really, really excited to get to go on. It is our first ever Disney attraction at sea. It is the Aqua Mouse. Is anyone else excited about the Aqua Mouse? Yes? This looks so cool because, so families will be immersed in the wonderful world of Mickey Mouse animated shorts, right? So how did the team at Walt Disney Imagineering think up this new wild water ride around the upper decks?
I think that the great thing about this team is they are constantly trying to sort of challenge themselves and go and build upon the work that they've done before, right? And just kind of say, hey, we did that, we did Aqueduct. How can we take this a step further? How can we maybe bring a story to life around you, right? Like, how can we make it that much more immersive? And so much like an attraction that you're used to seeing in the theme park, the story starts in the queue, right? When you walk up, the story starts, you know what show you're going to see. There's going to be 2, actually, shows that you get to experience in the Aqua Mouse. One is called Swiss Meltdown. And so Mickey and Minnie, the whole premise of this attraction is that they're taking you on their version of a port excursion. And so you get to kind of go through the queue and you step into your vehicle and they're saying, are you ready to go and see, are you ready to go sledding with us? And as you're kind of going up our conveyor and you're looking into these portals into the cartoon world, you can see that the sun, who is AKA Pegleg Pete, has his own little mischief to wreak on our Fab Five, and that he's trying to melt the snow before we get to go sledding. So the whole premise is that we're trying to get to the top before all the snow has melted off the mountain. It does melt when we get there, and that's when you sort of like cascade down, the water slide experience. So it's been so cool to work with TV animation, work with the teams that really bring that content that you're used to seeing on Disney Plus to life, as well as kind of doing those detailed placemaking and props that we are very familiar with and love.
Oh, that's so neat. And and I love that you say that the team at Walt Disney Imagineering, they're always trying to come up with new ways, challenging themselves. I mean, you can see that, the evidence is right there in some of the amazing creations you all are bringing. And it also is seen in some amazing creations for some of our adults on board. Looks like from the families. I know, Danny, I'm coming to you.
But first we have a special treat.
Oh, no, you're right. We do. Yeah. Almost forgot this one. Did you bring something new for us?
Yeah.
Yes, we have actually some footage that we would love to share with you from one of our stories so that you can kind of be the first really to kind of see this story as we're going to bring it to life. So we have 7 of the 9 scenes that you'll be seeing And I believe we have audio to go along with the video, so you can kind of get a sense of what that is.
Let's see how many Disney Easter eggs this audience has.
Yeah,
picked out in
there are
this
always
footage.
Easter eggs, right? Have to put those in there.
It's a great day for sledding!
That sunshine! Come on, let's go! The snow! It's melting!
Cool to see on that big screen.
And one thing that we should kind of mention is that every time you see that there's this splash effect in that content or a water effect or what have you, there are these awesome nozzles that are all around our portholes, and you will actually get splashed in time with the splashing that's happening on the screen. So good luck stepping off the attraction. Dry as bone, it's just not gonna happen.
I don't think anyone should have that goal.
And so next spring, when we're kind of out there on the ship, like getting this ready for you guests and testing it out, making sure everything is, you know, in working order. We will be in Germany, you know, in the early spring, late winter, in these like 7mm thick wetsuits and like, you know, head to toe neoprene essentially, just kind of riding this again and again and again, and getting splashed again and again and again and shivering like the entire time, just to make the magic for you guys. We're gonna suffer, we're suffering for you.
We appreciate that dedication, Scott. We do. It's not warm in springtime in Germany. It is definitely not. No, thank you so much for sharing that. We really appreciate it. And I also want to dive into now with you, Danny. Tell us about our lovely Enchanted Playground just for the adults out there, Star Wars Hyperspace Lounge. Yeah, right. This is going to be such a cool, immersive experience. It's going to offer, you know, interactive tasting experiences, signature beverages, all inspired by the Star Wars galaxy. How did you dream up the design for this lavish Star Cruiser, and how will our guests be able to live out their own Star Wars experience in there?
Yeah, well, it's funny because our kids' spaces have, you know, very immersive experiences on our other ships, and we adults felt very jealous about that. And we wanted to make sure there was something just for adults. After dinner, you know, adults can come into the Hyperspace Lounge, and this is their place to go hang out in the Star Wars galaxy. And we wanted to do something, because we have Oga's Cantina at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, we wanted to deliver something a little bit different. So we went with this high-end version of Star Wars that you might have seen in the Solo film or in Canto Bight in Episode 8. So we wanted something a little bit different feeling to complement the whole park experience. And I brought some footage actually of our space window. So if you imagine jumping from hyperspace from location to location, you get this beautiful view to the galaxy. And it's littered with cool Easter eggs, different planets. We go to 7 different locations around the galaxy. And every time we jump to hyperspace, we take a shot, right? You know. But this will have, it's really fun to design a space like this because during the day when it's open to families, we'll have a different music and different feel to it, and then adults at night it's just going to have a whole different look and feel as well. So yeah, it's really cool.
These are amazing. So neat.
Yeah, our partners at Island just knocked it out of the park for us, and they're the ones that just keep, you know, working with us, just keep kind of elevating the experience and just the amount of detail. And you'll see some very familiar locations. I have to keep turning around to see where we are.
I was gonna say, where are we right now, Danny?
Yeah, well, right now we're in an asteroid field, but that was Mustafar. That was in the previous scene. And it's fun because we're jumping to different points in time. And so we get a little bit of everything. If you're a fan of the original trilogy, you'll see some familiar locations like Tatooine. If you're a fan of the sequel series, then we have locations like Coruscant and a little bit of everything for everybody, which is really neat. So we have the beautiful, big screen view to the outside. We have, those classic bubblers where they serve you your drinks in the corner. We have a hologram effect, a holotube that shows different, highlight different ships and turnarounds. So there's a lot of cool details, some amazing collection of antiquities from across the galaxy. So it's going to be a very immersive space. I hope you all dress up when you come check it out.
I don't know, what do you think? Can you all dress up when you come visit us? Yeah? You talk about the details in there, and I think that is what's so incredible in all the spaces you all create, is everything being looked at right down to the smallest detail, and I think a lot of our guests are going to enjoy being able to look in there and explore.
Cool, yeah, we're obsessive. We don't know when to stop, right? You're like...
Attention to detail, obsessive, potato.
But I think it was really fun actually to watch Danny in these reviews with ILM, because he'd be looking at sort of these the iterations as they go along, as they're kind of coming together. And we were watching Mandalorian at the time, right? And so Danny would kind of ask that to me, hey, maybe can you maybe put some of this in there? Can you put some of that in there? And they were like, oh, okay. You can almost hear the knuckles cracking, like, okay. We're going to do this now. You want us to put Easter eggs in there? Oh, we will show you Easter eggs. So they were all the Easter eggs in that content. So it'll be fun.
They were awesome.
That is awesome. Oh my gosh, I can't not wait to see it. That's going to look amazing. Now, Danny, you did touch on about how immersive our kids' spaces are on board. And of course, we have got some incredible things coming to the kids ages 3 to 12 in Disney's Oceaneer Club. They can really step into their favorite Disney worlds, from Marvel Superhero Academy to Fairy Tale Hall, Star Wars, Cargo Bay, and there's even a one-of-a-kind opportunity for kids to discover the secrets of the world-renowned Disney Imagineers at the Walt Disney Imagineering Lab. Now, as you mentioned, sometimes we get a little jealous. So maybe you could give us a few hints on what the kids might be able to get their hands on some of those activities in the space.
Yeah, well, I'll start by talking about the ride studio, which you see in this rendering here. There's as part of the Imagineering Lab, we have this workshop space which has a lot of hands-on activities that I think Denise will talk to you about in just a second. But I wanted to create like one of our mock-up bays. What do they feel like? And so it's kind of like this more dark, I wouldn't say grungy, but a little like, you have like the chain link fence in there and exposed lights, and we don't actually have a ceiling either. You actually see all the exposed pipes. It feels like we just went into this space and used it to play test a lot of our experiences, and that's what the experience I want our little kids to feel like, oh, okay, this is what it's like to be an Imagineer. We're in this like really dark, dingy space, but we're going to create some awesome stuff in here.
We put the dollars in front of our guests.
I love it. That's a great secret they're getting.
So the ride studio is so cool. Every kid, when they enter the Oceaneer Club, they get an Oceaneer band. So you actually get to tap in, and we're able to progress your story through the duration of the cruise. First time we've ever done anything like that before. And so in the ride studio, you actually your kids get to create their own coasters based on Big Thunder Mountain, Matterhorn, and Space Mountain. So they get to create this crazy track of their wildest dreams, and then they get to sit in one of our playtest vehicles and actually get to experience on a big screen, experience the rides that they've created. And we've done some play tests. It is going to be so much fun. The kids just love being able to create a coaster, and they get to, like in Big Thunder Mountain, they get to drop the goat with the dynamite wherever they want. So it's like this little play set pieces and things. And the narrator will have that very distinct, Disneyland, like, welcome to the ride studio. I can't do it. But
that was good. That's actually really good.
Maybe I can do it. So it's just going to feel like a very authentic experience, and we're so excited for our young ones to be able to experience that.
Mm-hmm. And the programming in there, obviously, we just love it when kids ask, how do they do that, right? Just spur the activity. So this will definitely be a makerspace, where some of the programming will feature some of the secrets behind the curtain of Imagineering, Pepper's Ghost. It could be a cooking class. It could just be kind of any of the creative things that happen behind doors with Imagineering. It'll allow kids to experience what that's like. So we're very excited about this space. As Danny said, it's the chain link and all. It's going to be it's going to be fun for kids and really just tap into their imagination and let them be at the helm telling their own story. Because I think that's what's so important about our kids' spaces. We want the kids to be the stars of their own stories.
I love that. That is so wonderful. Thank you all so much for coming out this morning and sharing all of your insight into the designs of these incredibly immersive spaces. I know I'm so excited to finally get to step on board the Disney Wish next year. And as a special treat for all of us, because I haven't seen it either, we would actually like to share a time-lapse video of the ship starting to come to life. I hope you enjoy it.
There's no music, right?
I guess you think.
I don't want you to come through.
Yeah.
I was just there Friday.
There's Monica.
I was like, try to spot Monica.
It is spectacular being there in person, and
Yeah.
You get your exercise for sure, walking up
Up and down the deck.
we spent 4 years so far working on this project, and so to actually, you're thinking about Worlds of Marvel, and you have models, and you have all these previs tools to kind of help you visualize what it looks like, and then you get on the ship, and you're like, oh, that's the ceiling height. Okay, I can work with that. Like it's cool seeing it in actuality, and it's going to be over the next few months. It's just going to get more and more together.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's going to move fast. Yeah.
Yeah, just more and more with it. But for 4 years, you've been working on this project for 4 years.
Yep.
What was it like the first time that you went over to Germany and actually got to see it all this way? What did it feel like?
I'll go first. The first time I went to Germany, it was just a piece of paper on a desk, and we all stood around just trying to figure out what the best layout for the ship is. And we came up with ideas like doing a slide down to the kids' spaces from the Grand Hall. Like we thought, what's the best way to get around this ship? And we spent months and months working on that. That was the first time, I went to the shipyard.
Oh, wow.
I came back to the project in 2 weeks after I started. I was already in Germany. And like Danny said at the beginning, it's a piece of paper with an outline of the ship, and you work with blocks. It's the block of the GA. So you try to figure out where all the blocks, and they're literally like blocks of color. And you start with that, and then little by little, on mine, working with all the designers, so you go through all the design milestones, and you go back and forth with the shipyard, because you do design, and they overlay all the technical, then you develop the design, and they continue doing technical until it all gets aligned. They tell you where, bankful units have to go, and where there's ducting, and you have to kind of adjust things. But it was 4 years ago, I remember when I was there 2 weeks after I started, and it's just paper with colored blocks.
Oh, wow.
And now we're picking out silverware. Like it's kind of juxtaposition from then to
Exactly.
what is the best looking for Worlds of Marvel? Like, it's kind of,
And I love that, you have to really think outside the box on this project in a lot of ways because, unlike our theme parks where it's like, okay, this is the infrastructure that we need to have in place and we can just throw all the show in there that we want to. On the ship, every space has a weight limitation, right? Like we can't put more than this weight of show set in there. That's how much we're allotted, so we have to design within this box, right? So it's like thinking outside the box, designing in a box, right? So it's just been so cool to just kind of see how everyone sort of figured their way around those sort of limitations, yeah, and just kind of made it even more than we could have expected.
That was so great.
And we did it all through the pandemic.
Yeah.
The building part of it has literally the first piece of steel was cut when the pandemic already started. So all the design work and stuff happened, but the actual building of it has been probably the first ship that has ever been 100% built during the pandemic. So,
Wow, what an incredible achievement. I mean, that makes it clear to say there are some incredible partnerships really happening all over the world through the developing, the designing, building of the Disney Wish, and we truly cannot wait for you all to get to experience the magic of the Disney Wish when she sets sail next summer. And I personally also can't wait to see what's in store for the rest of today with our presentation. But just like all of you, first I'm going to take a little break. So thank you all so much for stepping on board the Disney Wish with us, and we'll see you back after the quick break. Thanks, everyone.